Thanks for checking out this question from our daily live Zoom calls. Please like and subscribe to keep learning how we help the largest online community of self-directed retirement investors and entrepreneurs grow and control their retirement funds. Your website explains that the Form 5498 is not a proper for a solo 401k. That is correct. The 5498 does not apply to a solo 401k. It applies to an IRA. And there's no analogous version of that form that would apply to a solo 401k. How does the IRS know how much has been contributed to a solo 401k? Well, that's a great question. So if we're talking about pre-tax solo 401k contributions, of course, the solo 401k owner is going to want to let their tax advisor know so that those can be reported on the business tax return or the personal tax return as applicable so that they can get the credit and reduce their taxable income accordingly. If we're talking about Roth or voluntary after-tax contributions, that may not be reportable. It depends on how the self-employed business is taxed. If you look on those guides, as I mentioned, they're broken down by how the business is taxed. And we go through and break it down, how contributions are reported, the limits. It's a true deep dive session. So if we're talking about a Roth contribution or an after-tax contribution and the person's a sole proprietor, for example, there's no place to report those Roth or after-tax solo 401k contributions on the person's 1040. And again, it's not reportable on a 5498. So essentially, it would just be in the records of the plan. Now, once the value of the plan assets exceeds $250,000, there is a filing requirement for the solo 401k called a Form 5500EZ, which we handle preparation and submission of that Form 5500EZ as part of our service for no additional charge. We now do it through the electronic system, which they opened up since the pandemic. So on that Form 5500EZ, there is a line to report contributions to the plan. But for plans that are below the threshold, such that the 5500EZ is not required, below the $250,000 value threshold, and for contributions such as after-tax or Roth, there may not be a place to report it. So it would just be noted in the plan records. You'd want to be able to document and demonstrate if there ever was a question that those contributions were within the limits, by the deadlines, et cetera. And on our website, as you can see, we've got a wealth of information, plus we're fielding questions every day from clients, helping them understand how the rule applies to their situation.